Leanne Mulligan, and I'm the mill accountant. I've been working at Harwood Mill for 35 years and 2 months, and I started here on the 1st of May 1989 as assistant accountant, and I've spent about the last 20 years as the mill accountant. My main role when I was assistant accountant was payroll, and it's in the old days when we used to have cash pays for most people. And you can probably see the old Gladstone bag here beside me. That's what I used to take to the bank to pick up all the cash to pay the employees on the Thursday afternoon. And quite often I could be carrying up to $40,000 in cash back in sort of the early 90s. So that was the primary part of that role. And then when I moved on to being the accountant, it came pays, financial reporting, budgeting, and that type of thing. I think it would have to be the people. Being here so long, I've seen a lot of people come and go, and you have your characters that sometimes you might want to have too much interaction with, but the good people far outweigh those. And there are a lot of people that I've had a lot of fun with over the years and just been an absolute pleasure to work with. So I'd have to say that's my favourite part rather than any tasks or other happenings. It's the people. Well, I'd probably still be single if I hadn't come here, because when I first arrived here as a young single woman with my 3 cats, in the first week, a couple of the male team members arranged for me to meet a couple of other people in the area, young people, and my now husband of almost 33 years was a +1 for one of the other ladies. It was probably about another almost 2 years before we ended up getting married, but that's one way it has really shaped it. I think maturity as well with dealing with so many people, but yeah, it's mainly shaped it in the fact that I've ended up with a family after coming here. This is only the second job I've ever had. When I came out of uni, I went to work for chartered accountants in Casino, and I worked there for 6.5 years and mainly doing tax, and I was just looking for a bit of a change. And the job for assistant accountant here was advertised along with another one for over at Macadamia Magic near Lismore. I applied for both, got both, and I just decided this one sounded more interesting down here, and I've been here ever since. I think it's really important. I've been involved on the organisation team, but I've also spent a lot of my life here. So yeah, I just think it's a great thing to recognise, and that we're still all Australian owned, all Australian product. It's sort of pretty phenomenal to be a part of that and to be able to be here to celebrate 150 years. Well, the first one was when we transitioned from cash pays to bank, because that meant I no longer had to travel to Maclean with my lovely Gladstone bag and collect cash. I was never really concerned on any of the trips, but it's much more convenient just to press a button and have the money go in everybody's bank account. Then the next major one, I think, would be technology, everything from our phone systems through to computer systems. When I first came here, we had an old PABX system that had the buttons that you had to press down. You had to announce calls to everybody. Everything came through the switch. Whereas now with the modern phones, everybody has their direct line and most communication goes through those direct lines. And as far as the computer systems, our receptionist had a very small desktop computer with the old floppy disks and that sort of thing. And we had one main computer for processing payroll and accounts payable. And now everybody's got a monitor, or at least 2 monitors on their desk, a laptop or a desktop computer. The last major change that I've noticed is that when I first started here, there were very few female team members, and as the years have progressed, we now have far more equality with having female team members in senior roles, and it is finally modern times where it's actually the best person for the job, not the best man for the job, as had been the case a number of years ago. Now, I'm sorry I don't have any wonderful superpower that I would like, but being an animal lover my entire life, I think the one thing I would love to be able to do is communicate with them and be able to know what they're saying. They seem to know what humans are saying, but I would like to be able to understand them.